星丘，星丘，星丘。
What's up guys, name is Ray and welcome to another Genshin Impact video. Today we are doing a showcase for one of the more underrated characters in the game, and we're talking about Xingqiu. Hopefully I did pronounce this right. So I'm currently learning especially the Chinese names of the Genshin Impact characters. Yeah, of course we want to look at artifact builds, teams and weapons that I can recommend to you for this guy. So yeah, Xingqiu is a guy, and after everything, of course, some gameplay. Now without further ado, let's hop into his artifact builds. Okay, when we talk about artifact builds, I do think that he is not as versatile as other characters, like for example Beidou or Childe. So talking about especially main DPS characters, I do think that this characters has not too much different artifact builds to use. So as you can see, currently I'm using a Noblesse or Bleach set, which gives elemental burst plus 20%, and the 4-piece bonus does increase the attack members of your the attack of your party members by 20% for 12 seconds. So in today's showcase, I want to talk about especially that because he has a supportive role, so his main role will be a support DPS, you don't need to build him out too much, referring to artifacts. So I want to show you all the pieces that I'm currently are equipped, and then of course we want to talk about other artifacts that we can use. So he has a plus 20 flower because I did upgrade this one for Childe, and currently I'm still debating which one I want to give him. I'm trying out a bit. This does give crit rate and crit damage, but this has attack percentage and crit rate, but it also does have 50% HP. So maybe you guys like to help me out with that, which one will be better for Childe, and the other one goes to Xingqiu. The feather is pretty much a random feather that I got over here. It is still plus 0. I didn't upgrade the feather. This one is the pocket. So what I want to try out for now is to give him energy recharge to fill his ultimate up. I would recommend attack percentage usually on this spot, but this is something that I really like to try out for now. And that's the reason why I did also plus 12 did. I was also considering to give this Childe, so we would decrease his damage, of course, because I do think Childe has a very good amount of burst damage already. So I did thought that maybe energy recharge would help filling up his ultimate. But yeah, today we're talking about Xingqiu, of course. We want to have his ultimate as often as possible. Why, I will show you later. For the goblet, we want to have a hydro damage bonus goblet. So this is one of the most important things, because this character does scale of hydro damage because he's giving a shield to your characters, and the shield scales off with your hydro damage, so you want him to have as much hydro damage as possible. Reason being why I didn't upgrade this goblet more is because I would invest into my main DPS characters first, and after this you can invest into your support characters, or if you're sure that you want to use them in long term. I'm currently trying out the character, so I want to show you that this character is still very good without having high upgraded artifacts. Last piece, of course, is a mask. So this is just a 4-star one because I had it, and it has attack percentage, nothing real special on the substats. Alright, so I said that you don't have very versatile options to this character. So obviously there are a lot of characters where you can discuss, is this artifact set better or is this artifact set better. But for this character in particular, I do think Noblesse or Bleach is the best set for this character. I don't think that there currently will be a better set. Maybe in the future you can use the Hydro set, because this character, as I said, scales off with Hydro damage. Could replace this one, but for now I do think that this set is amazing for Xingqiu. Another option would be to add in some energy recharge if you like to. So this is especially if you don't have a weapon, if you don't have any form of energy recharge, you can combine the Noblest of Bleach in a 2-piece set. Where is it? You can only abuse this 2-piece set and add in a 2-piece energy recharge set. So this can be, for example, the Scholar set, but there are a lot of other different sets that have energy recharge. Yeah, Exile 1, for example, is another option that also does give energy recharge. If you want to use him more as a DPS character that stays on the field, which usually is not the case, you can use gladiators along with the Noblest set. So I do think definitely that you need the Noblest set. This will help you out a bit. This could be a possibility, but I don't want to talk about this because I wouldn't recommend it. You can also add in Elemental Mastery with the Wanderer set. This is also something that I wouldn't recommend personally, but it is an option if this guy is the character that triggers your elemental reactions. Usually I don't think that he will do, but the reason why he could do it is because he is water. Water plus fire is Vaporize. Vaporize is one of the strongest elemental reactions in the game, and that's the reason why you could add in Elemental Mastery to this character. Yeah, and that's already it. There are no real other artifact sets that I would recommend to this character currently. So that's why we want to stick with Elemental Burst Damage and the Noblest. Alright, weapons. Weapons is kind of the same, so I don't think that there are a lot of weapons that I would recommend for this character. So I'm currently using the Favonius Sword, but because it does give energy recharge, so I do have quite a lot of energy recharge on this character. So if you want to take a look at his energy recharge, he has 190%, so his ultimate does feel very fast. So I only have to wait for the cooldowns, and then I can use the ultimate already again. The best sword for this character, I do think, is Sacrificial Sword. It does give energy recharge, and it has a 40% chance, of course, if you have it at Refinement Rank 1, which most of us will have, you have the chance to reset his elemental skill, which does give him the shield. And it can occur once every 30 seconds, but this is very good because then you can use the shield multiple times. So I do think this is the best option. It does give energy recharge, which he does really profits from. Second best is the one that I already showed, which is the Favonius Sword. Other than that, if you want to play him as a supportive character, I don't think that there are a lot of other options that you can do. So for 3-star, the Skyrider Sword definitely is not bad because you can increase your attack by 12%, but this would only apply to Xingqiu when he is on the field. So if you do go for a more DPS build on him, if you want to stay a bit longer on the field, this would be a option, kinda. Skyward Blade is also okayish, but the problem on this again is it only does make sense if you use him as a main character or as a character that does stay on the field. Another option is the Battle Pass weapon, the Black Sword, which is one of the best weapons in the game. I only would recommend this if you want to really go for a main DPS build. So if you go the support road, I only do think that you should run a Favonius Sword or a Sacrificial Sword. Maybe, if you don't have anything else, a Skyrider Sword. But if you don't have another option than that, then I would stick to another weapon just in the meanwhile. Or if you want to use him as a main DPS character, there are a lot of different options. So you can literally use any weapon that you would go on your usual DPS characters that use a one-handed sword. Before we go into the team builds, I just want to show you real quick where you can farm his artifacts. It is of course above the mountain Aozang, where you can farm the Noblest of Bleach set, which is the set that I do recommend using on Xingqiu. Alright, team builds. So this is the team that I'm currently using on him. I use Childe as my main DPS character, Beidou as my secondary DPS character, Xingqiu as a utility supporter, and Bennett as a utility supporter and my healer. So basically you can use any of these on this spot you can use any 2 DPS characters, because the main thing that I do think is very important is you have to have 1 DPS and 1 main character, another character that does make the element out of this character, and then you can use a utility supporter and a healer. So this is like the optimal build in my eyes for adventure rank level 35 plus and 40 plus especially. So I do think that level 40 plus you do really need a healer. Xingqiu is a very splashable character, so you can use him literally in any team that does need a support, especially if you want to have water on your team. So actually in this team, you may ask yourself, why would you go for a double water? So double water does bring you increased healing of 30%, so this is a good side effect, but I didn't aim for that. The good thing on Xingqiu is that he can decrease hydro res of the enemy. So hydro res of the enemy does increase the damage of his hydro abilities and of his hydro abilities. And the goal on this team is I want to make a team to build around Childe, and I want to have elemental reactions. So I did add electro and I did add fire for Vaporize. And this team is built around these 2 elements, but this character, and that's the main thing that you really have to keep in mind when you add Xingqiu to your team. This character is pure utility. Does he fit into your team? Do you need water for your team so you can have this additional element? So he can easily trigger the elemental reaction with water, and he does easily apply hydro damage to the enemy. So if you do need water and utility, this character is really perfect for your team. Now let's take a look at another team. This team is based around Vaporize damage. So you really want to buff Klee. You can use Xingqiu as your utility character, of course, Jean as a secondary DPS character and a healer, and then you have 2 utility supporters. So I'm really a fan of using multiple utility supporters while having a heal on the team. So this is something that I do think is really insane. You can just use this character, the abilities of this character in any way, especially his ultimate does refill very fast if you have energy recharge on him. Then you can use his ultimate, swap to Klee, and Klee will do Vaporize damage. And if you guys don't know Klee, Klee is one of the characters that does the most damage in the entire game. So she literally can outdamage any character. And if you add water to that, your Vaporize damage will be amazing. So I will show this a bit in the gameplay. Sucrose and Jean are of course for utility elemental reactions. They do add this nice effect if they do give movement speed by 10%, so it does add up for Klee. Third team, a bit more free to play friendly, so this is more based around the electro charged thing. I always do think that Xingqiu does really fit in with other fire characters. So I do think along with Xingqiu you have to add a fire character. Actually in the team I showed before, I showed Bennett. I do think that they are a great duo to add in any team. So if you need utility and heal, and you do need these 2 elements, which does build a very strong elemental reaction, I think this is very good. But of course if you don't have Bennett, Xianling is a free-to-play character which you can build easily as another support. The what did I want to say? The water element that he does provide is very easy. So you just have to press Alt, swap into your main DPS character, and you have the water effect. Now you have to add in fire, which you can do with channeling, and which you can do of course with Amber, if you want to have the fire element as a more supportive way. So this is of course another very nice alternative way to build out. Your DPS character, of course, again, can be any other character. So I did have Beta because she is maxed out. You can actually use any other Claymore, any other main DPS character that can stay long on the field, of course. So you can't use Childe in this spot because we have too much utility supporters, but Beidou can stay on the field very long. Same like with Noelle if you want to use her. You can use even Jean, you can use Razor in this spot, and then of course add a healer. I did choose Barbara because she is free to play. Next one, if you want to use Xingqiu more as a DPS character, then this is another option. Fischl as a utility, Diana as a healer or utility. This does provide the freeze, of course, in your team. Additionally to that, electro charge and super conduct, so you do have a lot of different elemental reactions into that, while using Xingqiu as a main DPS character. I actually would not recommend this, but if you want to go for a more rogue build, if you want to go, or if you want to be a bit different, of course you can still do this. As a main DPS, I picked up Ningguang, so this team is very, very nice, very special. Unfortunately, I couldn't show this off because I didn't build any of these characters. But yeah, this is an option that you can consider to use. Alright, before we go into the actual gameplay, I want to show you that I unlocked all the constellations, of course, for Xingqiu, so will be amazing. Other than that, talents, I did only level this up to level 4. This is naturally increased because of Childe. Childe do increase the normal attack of your party members. This is increased because of one of the constellation, and this is also increased by 3 levels because of the constellation. So this is usually up to 4. I would recommend definitely, if you don't want to commit in this character too much, but if you want to utilize him as a supporter, definitely level up his ultimate. Yeah, in addition to that, you can see the stats, but the stats doesn't really matter. So the special thing on this showcase is that I don't want to show Xingqiu on the field because I want to show you him as a utility supporter. And the big thing on this is that he won't be on the field very long, so you will see the other characters way more, but you will see the damage output or his potential. For the showcase, I only leveled him up to level 65 out of 70, so this is just because I wanted to unlock this talent, which you can do with Ascension 5. So basically, if you unlock the from level 60 to level 70, you get the 4th talent, which does give him more hydro damage bonus. Alright guys, first fight I want to show you is against the Pyro Ragisvine. So which I want to do is I want to let Beidou fight mainly, but I want to of course use the abilities from Xingqiu. So what you want to do is pay attention on the blue numbers, so because the blue numbers are the ones from Xingqiu. So I just want to show you again, of course I use the Favonia sword, and all the artifacts aren't level up too much besides the watch, which is plus 12, goblet plus 4, and the flower plus 20. So feather plus 0, mask plus 0. Okay guys, let's fight against this ley line. For this ley line, I want to use Childe only in the bow form, not going into the melee stance. So while doing that, I won't do aim shots so you can see the damage numbers from Xingqiu. So as long as Childe doesn't go into his melee stance, the white damage numbers are from Childe and the blue damage numbers are from Xingqiu. So which I want to explain real quick is I want to use his E. His E does give the shield damage reduction based on the hydro damage. After this I go into Childe, want to fight. The blue damage I want to use the ultimate. And after the blue swords go away, I do heal for 6% back. So I want to show you this real quick in his talents. So it is actually this one. When a rain sword is shattered or when its duration expires, it regenerates the current character's HP based on 6% of Xingqiu's max HP. So this means after the blue swords go away, my Childe will heal back if he got damaged. Okay, now let's activate the ley line first. Use the E, use the ultimate, swap into Childe, and what I want to show you now is that Childe is way more usable in his ranged form while you have Xingqiu as your supporter, because you have some additional damage. It is like you getting 3 auto attacks, applying hydro damage without having hydro damage. So it is a great way to make your Childe usable, especially for those who only got him Constellation 1. So these are, of course, now the ultimate is gone. and you can see the damage numbers from my child. So he is basically doing like around 1.3 1.4k. Okay, now let's get the ultimate back. So you can see I just did the E ability and we have the ultimate back. Swap back into child, and I want to show you. Oh no, of course want to use the ultimate. Now swap back into child, and then I want to show you the damage potential of child in range stance, having Xingqiu as his supporter. So we did break the shield without really attacking the magician. You can see these small blue damage numbers. Okay. Now let's use his E again. Get some particles back. Okay guys, I just did pick up another ley line to show you this again. So we got his ultimate, and now I want you to pay attention especially to these small blue numbers, because they don't come from child. As long as child is in the range stance, they come from Xingqiu, and you did saw the artifacts at the beginning of the video. You can see we always get like 400, 500, and this like 2 or 3 times, which does add up, which is additionally like, let's say 800 to 1200 damage, 1500 damage, in addition to everything that you do before. Alright guys, for the next test I want to go with child against this rune god without using Xingqiu, and after this I want to use Xingqiu and show you guys how much damage he will do with his ultimate. So you can see the damage number which is around like 2k-ish. So on average it is around 2k-ish on my child. Now we picked up another rune god just to show you the effect that it is the same enemy. And this time we want to use child in melee stance with Xingqiu's ultimate. So we want to use Xingqiu E, use Xingqiu ultimate, swap back to child, go into melee stance, and let's take a look at the damage numbers. So we are doing actually the same, like around 2k, but in addition to that we have like these 800, these 700, so we do clear him quite fast. Now let's use ultimate. Yeah, like 12k-ish. But as you can see, we are way faster now, just because we used Xingqiu. Oh, we didn't finish him up. Okay, now we got him. Let's maybe swap out his artifacts with the one from child, and then I want to show you his damage again. Okay guys, I swapped to child's artifact, so it is basically the same set, besides the fact that the watch is only plus 16, everything is plus 20. Goblet does also give hydro damage. So I picked of course another ruin god, because this is the showcase monster for today's video. I want to use Klee. I want to show you the insane Vaporize damage along with a full built out set of Xingqiu. So I want to show you the damage from Klee without any Vaporize. So she will actually kill this ruin god no problems without any elemental reactions. So you can see her damage number, which is like around 3k per hit. Okay, actually the next ruin god that I picked up, and now use E, use ultimate, go to clear, and let's see how fast we can clear this guy. Together with the full build. Okay, now we already got him. So yeah, you just did see how fast we did clear him. So I just want to show you this again because it was so fast. And after this, of course, we want to end the showcase. Okay, just pick up this guy. Of course, we want to refresh ultimate. Use ultimate, swap back to Klee. And now let's kill this guy real quick. Use one charged attack. Yeah, and he's like nearly dead. Okay, ultimate ended already. Okay, lastly, I just want to show you guys here. We are at world level 6. So I did the clear so fast on the world level 6, which is kind of insane. So this character, very good. Do not overlook this character. If you have them, you may build him. I do think at Constellation 0 he is still very, very good. But of course, the more constellations you have, the harder he will scale. That's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's showcase of Xingqiu, and if you guys do so, subscribe to my channel for more Genshin Impact content, and I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want to see more Genshin Impact content, videos should pop up on the screen right now. Make sure to check them out, and I thank you for your support.